So we left off at validation built in. So let's take a look at code 4. The only thing that you need to edit is this typing block, the typewriter. You can simply click on open group, typing, edit text, and add in the extra lines. That is what has been edited right here. So back to main timeline. So basically this particular set of codes has been executed and this is the result. So this is quite different than what you have previously seen. So let's take a look at it. So open group, span the timeline right here. So the only difference that we can see is that the checkbox has been checked and we have this requirement issue or the requirement line right here. Toppings are required. So that's an additional touch to the entire page. So previously when we are adding in a new feature, that feature is being or has been emphasized with an animation or transition. And in this case, it's the checkbox and the reminder at the bottom. So those are the only additional animation that has been emphasized or animations that has been added. The previous new animation, which is select your pizza toppings, that was been emphasized with an animation, but in this one it's not. So let's take a look at the checkbox one, which is somewhat of a maroon color. And in order to get this checkbox, we have to change the color. But first, you can go ahead and simply duplicate one of these checkboxes and place it exactly over the particular checkbox itself. So in this case, we are emphasizing that we want two toppings. So that's why mushroom and olive has been emphasized with a check mark. So you can duplicate both first checkbox and second checkbox and place it exactly over first and second checkbox. And now to edit it and have the check mark, you can go ahead and double click on the group, or you can simply click on open group itself right here. So previously we had a white background and I have changed it to this nice maroonish color. Same for the border as well. Nothing else has been changed. And here for the check mark, you can easily go ahead and click on stock. Click on SVG. Here you have a bunch of them. You can scroll to see which one you like. I think I have imported one of these. You can, yeah, these seems fine. These seems fine to me. You can click on import and it will be loaded into your projects panel right here. And you can drag and drop it right in the middle of this square, and that's pretty much it. So once these are layered, you can go ahead and group them like I did. And if you notice carefully, it basically fades in. So we start off with just a regular checkbox which hasn't been checked yet. And since we are checking checkbox one by one, so that's the action that we are looking for on the screen. So as you can see there clearly, it happens one by one. And fade in effect is a really nice one for this. So in order to get a fade in effect, select the layer, motion, fade, and fade in. You can simply click on it and be applied to. And you can actually just duplicate one of these checkboxes, do it for one, and then duplicate and layer it right in right there. Okay. So uh, as for the reminder or the requirement, let's take a look at that. So basically we have a text element right here. You can drag and drop this text element on the screen, change the wording and the color. And this is basically coming from the bottom of the screen to the top. So you can basically just place it at this certain point on the screen and then you can add in the stop animation, as you can see. So basically it's going from one place to another. It's you're positioning the text. So motion in position, and here we have top. So basically you can opt for this animation and we right there. And with that we have this really nice clean animation. So for the next animation or the next layer we have is something from the previous uh, set of layers you can see right here, and it is a group. So let's take a look at it. So as you can see here, it's quite similar to the previous two layer set of layers that you have seen, but it's slightly different. This time we have the first word which is emphasized with a different color and the second one which is white. But previously we had the first one of white and the second set with color. And we have kept the same um, animation right here, which is bottom, which basically takes place from outside the screen to the middle of the screen. That's the action. So another set of animation that has been added is word by word. So so when you have selected the bottom one, bottom animation, you can go ahead and select word forward, and that's when each word will land, and then the next word will land. The next block of layer is this particular layer, as you can see, and it looks very different. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's go ahead and open the group. So as you can see, we have two sets of layer, one for the code and one for the actual output or the preview. So each has its own background, and the next layer, which is checkbox code, which is the name of the layer. Uh, as we have seen this code, which is basically a code for this particular uh, screen or the checkbox to check all your toppings for the particular pizza. So that's what it is. Um, so in order to bring in this particular layer, you can go ahead and copy that particular layer and paste it in here, or um, you can arrange all of these layers together and then group it so that it's easier for you to just navigate in one particular layer than just have a bunch of layers on the main timeline. So having all of these are basically a bunch of layers, and each of these layers are a group. So each layer has like 7, 8 layers in itself. So having a certain set of group like this one has a bunch of layers. So having it as a group is much easy because you can just navigate it, and it's quite easy and clean for you to understand. And these texts are not typewriter, as you can see. It is plain text because it is capital T and small t right there. And when you see these squares, double squares, these are groups, or you can identify them over here. So in order to duplicate this, you can duplicate this to make the second one right here. So let's take a look at how to do that. So basically what I did is that I've duplicated this to create this particular one. I've changed the title. I deleted the checkboxes and the mushrooms, olives and salami. And then toppings are required. I've deleted that. As you can see from this particular one, it doesn't require that. And I place select your pizza toppings right in the middle. And for this arrow right here, you can again go to stock, and let's type in arrow. Ah, it's right here. So you can simply import it and it will be right here. So once you have imported this right here, you can change the color. Yeah, you can change the color, which color you want it to be, and then you can rotate it. It's a shape, so you can rotate it. And instead of duplicating this, you can duplicate the checkbox to make this, except you only need to make it a full radius of the four corner points. And it's quite easy to do this as well. You can duplicate the second one to create this, except you need a rectangle, and you can basically just it's a rectangle, and I've just narrowed it down, added in a circle, and made it look like a slider, and this is the text. And over back to the main timeline. It's quite clean. And so that is it for part 3. Let's head over to part 4 now.